Hello and welcome to the Steelcityman channel's Monday Rant. Before I actually start ranting today, I'd just like to say a special thank you to the 104 subscribers that have signed on to watch this channel. It's really an amazing number. I'm just speechless. It's brilliant. What do you mean that's a good thing? I just never thought I'd actually get 100 subscribers. I've broken through the glass ceiling and I've got 104 now, and things are looking up. So thank you very much. Let me just say that these opinions that I'm expressing are mine and mine alone. It's something that I've developed a personal dislike for. Whether you support the Orange Order or not is entirely up to you. I don't. I find it distasteful and obnoxious, hence this rant. It's my rant and I'm getting it off my chest. Right, we'll get on today's rant now. Honestly, if I'd got air, I'd pull it out. I really would, because this gets right up my nose. It really does. The rant's about the Orange Order. The Orange Men of Ulster. And not only of Ulster, they have them in all over the world, Orange Men. Scotland as well. The Orange Order was formed in the 17th century, quite a long time ago, and it came about through the battle for supremacy between Protestants and Catholics. And William of Orange, a Dutchman, ironic, led the fight against King James, who was the Catholic king, led the fight against the Catholic army, and the final battle of this particular war was the Battle of the Boyne in 1690. There was a clash between the Catholics and Protestants in 1795, known as the Battle of the Diamond, and it was actually this conflict that gave birth to the Orange movement, the formation of the Orange Order, which was at the time and still is to this day to maintain the superiority of Protestants over Catholics. There you go. Small-minded or what? In the Orange Order calendar, the 12th of July is a very important date, because this 12th of July is commemorated by marches, accompanied by flutes and drums and militaristic uniforms. Crowds of Protestants gather, and they go on these marches with all the militaristic music. And quite often they march through or very close to Catholic areas, which are sometimes termed as Republican areas, as opposed to the loyalist affiliations of the Orange Order. These marches on the 12th of July commemorate the victory at the Battle of the Boyne, and quite honestly it's just let's rub the Catholics' noses in this great victory. The marches are the triumphalist. Have I invented a new word there? They're triumphalist, they're full of bigotry, they're full of hatred, religious hatred, as well as hatred for the idea of a united Ireland. Simply takes my breath away, it really does. How one section of a community can so thoroughly oppress another section of the community, a minority, like the Orange Order does, it just beggars belief. It really does. Have we not moved on since the 17th century? I would like to think so, but you look at situations like this and you think, no, we haven't, or some of us haven't anyway. Do we really need to march and hate, murder and intimidate a minority? Intimidate them into abject terror at times? Do we need to see them homeless, or herded into ghettos, deprived of any equality of opportunity and life chances? No, we don't, because some of us, in the search for peace in the province, implemented the Good Friday Agreement, the power sharing agreement, which brought about a modicum of peace in the province. And contrary to popular belief, without the likes of Jeremy Corbyn speaking to Sinn Féin in the early days, that agreement would never have happened. They'd still be bombing and killing each other, losing lives left, right and centre, innocent lives. And the people that call Jeremy Corbyn a traitor, a terrorist sympathiser, I just find unbelievable the stupidity that generates that way of thinking. If you've got an enemy and you're fighting, the only way to stop the fight is to either kill your enemy, which I suppose is a very human idea, or start talking and come to some arrangement to stop. And because Jeremy Corbyn did that, then he's regarded as a terrorist sympathiser. Abject stupidity in my mind. I mean, look at the recent history of one of the marches, the Drumcree March. Every year it ended in violence, people being killed, and it all started with the Orange Order marching through a Republican area or a Catholic area and taunting the residents, the Catholic residents there, stirring up such feelings of fear and anger, and of course retaliation was inevitable. And every year that march ended with people being injured, dying. It was just a terrible, terrible time. Do we want to go back to that? For God's sake, let's grow up and stop behaving like a triumphant school bully and try and forget about a fight that happened over 220 years ago. For goodness sake. You know what I mean? Over 200 years ago, and they're still marching to celebrate and rub the loser's nose in it. It's terrible. And hey, let's just remember who started all this mess in the first place. Let's just remember that. You'd really think that communities could work together and stop arguing about which religion is better than the other. Does it bloody matter about what religion you are? Of course it doesn't, unless you're a zealot. And in my book there's just absolutely no place for zealots in this world at all, particularly religious zealots of any domination. Why do you have to force your blinkered views on everybody else? Some may argue that it's not about religion, this conflict, this difference of opinion. Some would argue that it's about staying loyal to the crown or wanting a united Ireland. I refer you to the point I made a little bit earlier. Who started this mess anyway? You don't have to look too far from London. Just think about it with an open mind. So, Orange Order, this is what I have to say to you. Give up your parades of triumphalism and intimidation. Put aside your hatred of all things not Protestant. Overcome your fear of not being top dog in your province. Stop the bigotry and oppression of minority groups. Get civilised and learn to get on together. Learn the true meaning of acceptance and living together in peace. Most of all, forget the bloody battle over 220 years ago. Forget it. Why live in the past? You need to look to your future, not back at your past. You know it makes sense. Oh, do you? Oh my goodness. I don't feel I've done that rant very much justice actually. It's quite political, and I've had it in the back of my mind all along that I would be upsetting people. But hey ho, if I've upset you, I've upset you. They're my views. I think it's, you could almost call it a terrorist organisation really, the way it oppresses people and fights for the supremacy of one group over another. It's rather childish, I find, to see Orangemen strutting down the road, banging the drums and shouting abuse at the Catholics or Republicans, whatever you want to call them. It's just not civilised at all, and it's time you all grew up and started, like I said earlier, looking to the future of your province instead of living in the past. Because if you keep living in the past, you won't move on and you won't gain anything at all, and you'll still have all this conflict. What you need is peace and stability. Okay then, that's going to be my rant for this Monday. I hope I haven't upset too many people. If you've liked what you've seen, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you do subscribe, please ring the bell. And that way you'll be notified of any more I post. I'll see you next time on Wednesday when it's Walk a Mile in My Shoes. So until then, see you later folks. Thanks for watching. Bye.